Welcome back. Well, welcome back to me. I've been gone for a little while. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for coming back. Yeah, I'm doing chicken piccata today. I love chicken piccata. I love all the old classic Italian dishes or American Italian. I'm not sure which category this falls. I'm sure somebody will tell me. Um, I didn't bother to look up the history of the dish, which I normally do, to be honest. Nonetheless, this is an easy, quick weeknight meal. Simple, simple, simple. We're just gonna butterfly some chicken, pound it out even, and then we're going to go ahead and dredge it real quick in some white flour, cook it in some butter, some olive oil, just get it kind of brown, take it out, add in some shallot and some garlic, a little bit of white wine, a little bit of chicken stock, let that come down and reduce. Then we're going to go ahead and add in a little bit of parsley and put the chicken back in. On the side, you can do pasta. I'm going to do pasta for my wife and kids. For me, I'm just going to eat some Brussels sprouts on the side that are going to be sauteed in a little bit of olive oil with a little bit of garlic. Simple, simple, simple night. Really easy. Anyway, well, let's get started. So we're gonna have, all right, all right now. What we have here is just your basic shallot, or if you watch the British cooking shows or British chefs, shallot. Like I said, with a shallot, just want to treat this like any other onion type veggie. It's not really much different. Interestingly enough, someone told me that there's a Canadian variety of these that are bigger than the, I guess whatever the other variety is. I don't know. That's a new one on me. Yeah, you're just gonna cut it across and then go ahead and dice it down. Garlic, give it a whack. Remove said paper. Comes right off. Already did that to these three. And start cutting. For this dish, some people will cut their garlic in medallions and they'll brown them in oil. I'm not a big fan of doing that. I just don't like the flavor of the browned off garlic like that. It's just a personal preference, but you do you. Whatever you like. With parsley too, when you have this, instead of cutting down and getting all the stems, just kind of trim it with a knife like that. You'll get the leaves off that you want. It's more than enough right there for what we need. Put the rest away. Not all of this is going to be for the sauce. Some of this is going to be for garnish. So most of it will get used, but not all of it. And that's okay. All right. One last thing that we have to prep, which I didn't mention before, and I probably should have because it's kind of the key thing to piccata is lemon. Lemon. Going to use quite a bit of lemon juice in the sauce. We're also going to cut some lemon in the medallions. We're just going to put it on top of the chicken when we add the chicken back in. I'll show you. It's real, just simple thing, but I just forgot to mention it because I'm not thinking clearly. This is, we're going to take the chicken, salt, pepper, garlic powder ready. Take the chicken. We will unceremoniously, I might add, just trim a little bit of the fat off if it kind of gets in the way, which, just trim that little piece off right there. Then we'll just butterfly it real quick, right down the center horizontally. Now we have that one piece of chicken became two. That's like a marriage. They become one. In this case, it's a divorce. One become two. Put the chicken, those pieces of chicken in there, inside of a clean Ziploc bag. Give yourself as much room for the chicken to grow as you can. And then you're going to take your meat beater 5000, and bang on them. You're not really looking to make it flat. You want it all the same size so it cooks at the same speed. All right. Now we'll remove these chickens here. Season them right quick. Just the salt, pepper, garlic powder. Nothing fancy with this one. And then set it on the side. Another piece of chicken. Same thing. Just do that with all of them. Just cut the little piece of fat off. Back to the chicken. All right. After we have the chicken cut, meat powered 5,000, and seasoned, and we're ready to cook it, we're going to go ahead and get some flour down. Reaching above my head. Flour. Put some flour on a plate. Or whatever other flouring vessel you choose. I'm using a paper plate because I still don't know where a lot of stuff is. Yes, after you get the flour on the plate, you're going to season with, you're right, salt, pepper, garlic powder. And that's just something I use. You can buy it anywhere, or you can buy it already done under SPG, or you can make it yourself. I use coarse ground black pepper, coffee grinder. Or you can even buy a restaurant black pepper, they call it at Walmart or the grocery store. That's just coarse ground pepper. Get that. One part that, half part salt. I use sea salt. You can use sea salt or table salt, and then half part garlic powder. Use the real garlic powder though. Don't don't go cheap there. Use the real garlic powder or ground garlic. I think you can find it labeled under. Um, yeah, but that's it. That's all that is. So then you're gonna go ahead and got your salt, your flavored flour, seasoned flour there. Just gonna take your chicken cutlet, press it down so it sticks really well. Shake off the excess. Get the other side. Hopefully that didn't work out too well for the first side, so we'll try it again. And that's it. You do that to all the chickens, all of them. Oops, okay. Let's try it this way. Chickens are done being seasoned. We're gonna come over here to the pan. And that's when the fun part starts. Let's see if I can figure out a way to put you. All right. Now the fun part starts. And yeah, I'm using stainless steel instead of my cast iron, my legendary cast iron pan right now. My pan's starting to smoke. It's getting good and hot, so I'm going to drop the heat a little bit. I'll put down some oil. I'm putting down oil because I want to bring the melting temperature, or the burning point up on the butter that's going to drop in there right now. And let that melt. Pan's hot already, so it shouldn't take long for that to melt. Now it's getting good and hot. We're going to take the chicken, just lay it right in there. Get up just a little bit. Like me, I have 6 pieces, so I'm going to try doing this in no more than 2 batches. I'm going to try not letting my smoke alarm go off again, too. Basically, what we're going to do is we just want to get the outside brown and a little crispy. I'm not as worried about the inside because we're going to make a sauce and put the chicken back in it. So the chicken can keep cooking after. My big concern right now is to get that chicken browned, or the flour outside the chicken brown and crispy. But it's just the flour I'm looking at, but not the chicken. Chicken's inside the flour, right? I hate when I start doing that. That's pretty much right there. A nice little brown color. That's the color you want, kind of right there. A little nice and brown. And perfection. Another layer. Just a little bit more olive oil. And some more butter. That melt down a little bit. All right, now the chicken's almost done in the pan right now. When I pull this, we're gonna get started real quick with doing the sauce. We're gonna pull this off. We're gonna drop in the shallot, the garlic, let that cook about 30 seconds. Then we're gonna dump in some white wine, and a little bit of chicken stock. Let that reduce down. Then we'll add in some lemon juice, and you'll kind of see the process at that point. But once the lemon juice is added, it's kind of almost done. We put the chicken back in, put the lemon wedges on top, a little bit of parsley, make it look pretty. And the key, big key, is drained and rinsed capers. I have those rinsing out over there in the little strainer thing by the sink. Anyway, I'm gonna put the chicken out right now and get the sauce started. Ready? Garlic. And get all those little flavor bits off the bottom. That's free flavor there, folks. You cannot buy that in any jar or any bottle anywhere. That's the best stuff you'll ever find. Getting all that crunchy stuff up is what separates really good flavor and really good cooking to really good cooking. Now, white wine. We'll let that reduce down a little bit before we add in the stock. And while we're waiting for that, we'll go ahead and add in the capers. What a caper actually is, I don't know. That's in my brain and those things I used to know that I used to find really important, but I just don't find that important anymore. Or I forgot it. And I'm too ashamed to admit it. But I used to know what a caper was. I guess Google Fruit can tell me. Oh, crank the heat up. One thing I do like also that a lot of people don't. I like putting a little bit of crushed pepper in my sauce. Is hey, I like a little bit of sweet, a little bit of heat with my sweet. I'm good at just a little bit of the parsley right now. Get that foundation laid well. You know what I mean? And since we've seasoned this with SPG throughout the entire process, we're gonna add just a little bit of that. There's going to be some in it already, and I want the flavor from the wine and the chicken to really come through. But I also want all the flavors to be very similar, if that makes sense. Basically, I want the volume of this to reduce by about half. So it'll get a little thicker, which the flavors are going to concentrate. All the everything that you don't want is going to kind of cook off. And I will just add a little bit of chicken stock and let that reduce a little more. And then we'll put the chicken back in, and we'll get started with the pasta and all the other fun stuff. All right. See how thick? I don't know if you can tell on there. We're gonna try. See how thick that. Then we also need to add the juice of a lemon. At this point, chicken goes back in. And whatever juicy juice came out of the chicken. A little more of that. Those lemon pieces that we sliced up earlier. All right. And this is pretty much done. I'm just gonna fix some pasta, make a plate, and I'll show you what it looks like going up when it's plated up.
You're really about to go high, shithead.